Good morning, this is a reading for how's the Karmics feel about the Divine Masculine. How's the Karmics feel about the Divine Masculine spirit? Okay, hang on. Spirit wants me to pull a card from this fairy deck. Let me just shuffle them because I just used this for another reading. Okay. One more time. Okay, overall energy for the Karmic. How is the Karmic right now feeling about the Divine Masculine? And how does she see how does the Karmic view the Divine Masculine or counterpart? How does the Karmic view the Divine counterpart? Okay, I wasn't ready, but oh. Wow. Undressing of a salad. I'll read the meaning of those. Now that I got those out, let me finish feeling these while I have the energy for the pull. Spirit, give me how the cards for how Karmic feels and views the Divine Masculine. How does the Karmic view the Divine Masculine? How do they feel about the Divine Masculine? How do they feel about the Divine Masculine? Okay. Yeah, the Karmic knows that he's the Hierophant to the Divine Feminine. And then he danced to the beat of his own drum. Alright, let me get back to these. Sorry, that was kind of mixed up. I forgot to pull those. 31. Okay, so first up, how I would see this is juggling many. The Karmic sees him as dirty, like he juggles a lot of people, a lot of women. It's not focused on her. That he always makes a mess of things, perhaps, or she feels that he is in a mess, made a mess of things. Perhaps she's blaming him for the mess of their connection. It's, you can see what you think of it. Okay. And then for this one, 38. The Moon Daughter is, she sees him as always thinking, I think this is her thing. She knows that he's always thinking of the Divine Feminine. She sees this as her the Karmic spouse or boyfriend, whatever, but he's always got this beautiful angel on his mind, which is the Divine Feminine. You see how underneath there is him. And she knows that he's always got her on the mind. The Divine Feminine, that is. Alright, so 31. Undressing the salad. Balance, avoiding extremes, achieving the impossible, or being impossible. So he's always being impossible to her, the karmic. Imbalance occurs, confusion happens, lovely balls fall on the floor, and we discover that they are uncooked eggs. Sleight of hands may be happening, and things that appear to be so are not correct, and vice versa. Misdirection may be prevalent, attempts at over-controlling may be contributing to the problem. Someone may be attempting unethical and unkind manipulations. Things are in motion and the outcome is impossible to predict. A cool head is required to deal with this, as the reading's going to jump in whatever direction seems appropriate. Exercise cool judgment while staying ready for the unpredictable. So basically, I would say she thinks he's unpredictable at this point in their connection. 38. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the meaning of it is, but I think with the karmic, totally sees this as the husband, or your divine masculine, that he always has the divine feminine on the mind, not the karmic on the mind. I'll show you again, just so you see it. Okay. Let's see what it says here. Light cast in shadows of spiritual guidance, illumination, and riddles. She is the bringer of light in the darkness, yet moonlight both reveals and conceals. Her bright, fiery hoofprints light the path ahead of you, guiding you through the dark. She is also one of the guides as the passages between the other worlds and this one. It is she who, with her bright light, tends the gates of revelations. Yet in the process of guiding us, Lace may pull a veil of clouds across the face of the moon, that 3 steps later we fall into a bog, and says that should wake you up. You may be finding apparent random events and ideas are falling into a pattern and beginning to make sense to you now. Things may be flowing more easily than you accustomed to, and your decision and choices may be bringing an unusually high degree of success. Psychic abilities, hunches, intuitions, forelearning are becoming very clear. So I think that kind of says, too, that the karmic is getting the same synchronicities that the divine masculine or we see, that something's occurring, something big is happening, and she knows that the divine feminine is all that he can think about. So let's move on to this part of the reading. So how does she feel about your divine masculine, the karmic? The karmic knows that he's puts her in a 3-party situation, plays games with her. Mind games are being played with the karmic. She sees that stones are thrown, they're always bickering back and forth, fighting. They can't come to a peaceful resolution on anything anymore. That is always chaos. 3 of Swords in the heart. It's regarding heartbreak. She knows that that she has been the cause of a broken heart, but also that he caused her broken heart, as far as the swords in the heart. What typically is 3 of Swords. But that she knows that he is gaining some higher, she sees that he is all of a sudden glowing and shining brighter. She sees that he is listening to like a more spiritual, or becoming more spiritual, even though they never have been before, that he's changing, evolving. Of course he is, because he's healing with the divine feminine, right? The karmic thinks that with this card, the 8 of Cups, always looking for the other 2 cups. So she knows that he's out looking, or that he has that special cup, the divine feminine, always on his mind and in his heart. But this too depicts that he's surrounded by this beautiful energy of dragonflies around him, but yet she knows that she's always there like a moth, eating away at the very core of their connection. that for whatever reason there's something that's always gnawing away between the two of them to keep them separate or to divide them apart, and they don't know what it is. Well, it's divine timing. 8 of Swords. The Divine Masculine's recently gone through transformation or rebirth. She sees this change in him, again the rebirth of him changing to a whole new person, because he has spirit guides with him, pulling him on this connection, pulling him in a lighter path. This is the Knight of Drums, the Knight of Coins. This is also the White Buffalo Calf Woman, which promises to always provide for the needs of the Indians, when that's the story. No, I lost my channel on that part. But it's in reverse, so she knows that he's not willing to put in the work for what she needs. He's not meeting her needs, basically, and she knows that she's not meeting his, nor does she desire to. She sees his life as complete chaos, and she's always trying to keep him in a whirl of confusion. She is always belittling and laughing at him, making him feel belittled, like his life is out of control, and she tries to make it sound to him like other people are laughing at him, that they don't understand him, or that he's crazy with the connection. If he tries to talk to her about the spiritual growth or the things he's seen and synchronicities, then she's going to treat him like he's crazy and pretend that it's something different and be like, oh, that's not what that means at all. But she deeply knows that he is the Hierophant to the Divine Feminine in this connection, and that he is learning to dance to a beat of his own drum without her. Clarification. Clarify the Karmics view of the Divine Masculine. 3 of Cups. The Karmics view of the Divine Masculine. Three of Cups with the 3 women in here, with 6 of Pentacles. She knows that he's sharing himself and his things with, or his gifts with others. But she also knows that he's healing himself as the King of Cups, that he spends time nurturing and caring for himself. He's going to the gym, eating healthier for whatever reason. She has noticed that he's caring more about himself. He's putting the work in on himself. Clarify the 3 of Swords, how the Karmic views the masculine. How the Karmic views the Divine Masculine. Yeah, she knows that he's going to be communicating, that he's running towards the Divine Feminine. She can sense that he is leaving, his energy is more towards the feminine, and this is causing her to have a Tower moment. Clarify this Tower moment. Clarify the Tower moment for the Karmic. This is for the Karmic. Out in cold. Because communication came in regarding options, but she sees him as the King of Pentacles, moving forward with the 6 of Swords to the Empress, leaving behind her the 7 of Swords. Because the choice had to be made, so a decision was made. You see here, one hand's on this sword, but nothing's on this sword. This is not like the one where they're crossed together and she's blindfolded. This is the High Priestess, or in this case, the Divine Masculine, that has made his decision. He's chosen who he wants, and he's moving forward towards it. And the karmic senses that energy. I mean, like most females would, right? You start to feel that. Maybe even things may have even been spoke of. Alright. Sorry. Eight of Cups. Clarify Eight of Cups karmic on how she feels about towards the divine masculine. Towards our divine masculines. And again, she knows he's stepping up, he's healing. She knows that he's had a death and a rebirth. Even his child innocence, he's showing up more like a child of innocence, but his spirit has had a death and a rebirth, and she sees the change in him, that he's stepping it up from this low vibrational person in this mess over here to a King of Wands, a divine connection somewhere. Eight of Swords, clarify how the karmic sees our divine masculines, how the karmics see the divine masculines. Clarify the Eight of Swords, how the karmic sees the divine masculines. She sees them as moving on, following the star. Ooh, nice cards. She sees him as a Page of Swords moving on away from her. Because she senses that he is following a more spiritual path to calmer waters out of this riffraff. Because the star is his light that guides him through this transformation to a calm waters, right? And this is an Aquarius card. Because the Wheel of Fortune is here to move things forward so that the divine counterparts can be in union for their sole purpose, their mission, and be in abundance in all things. Clarify the Knight of Drums in reverse. Clarify Knight of Drums in reverse. Clarify Knight of Drums in reverse. How the karmic views the Queen of Wands. What is this Queen of Wands? Clarify the Queen of Wands. Is this supposed to be like the King of Wands? Is this the divine masculine? Queen of Wands, because he's put behind the swords, Eight of Swords, put that behind him, that heartache from this connection with her. She senses that he is building his pentacles to move forward, to move out, setting aside money to move out of the shadows and towards something better with calmer waters. The moon energy. Yeah, because he's had a different perspective, change of perspective. He wants that stability with his divine feminine. Four of Wands. Five of Coins, let me just make sure. Five of Wands, there's been a lot, that's the chaos where she's trying to convince him that other people are laughing at him, convince him that he's crazy and he's going, nuts. So there's a lot of fighting regarding this. She keeps this bickering going and going to drive him back to the lower vibration, so he can't make that decision with the Two of Pentacles. Anything else of how the karmic feels views the divine masculine, our divine masculines? How does the karmic view our divine masculines? Justice is here. Switching decks. That was the angle. Oh, okay. Hang on. Shuffle this. Prompted to use this deck. I usually use this for my other readings that don't involve the karmic. Alright. Let's spill some tea, Spirit. Spill some tea. What's going on with the karmic? How's she feel about the masculine? Spill the tea. What's going on with the karmic? Where's the karmic at right now in her mind space? Okay, where's the karmic right now in her mind space? She's got a tower. She knows he's leaving. Absolutely. So where's the karmic in her headspace right now? She's receiving a tower this very moment, today. Something has happened, something's occurred, that enlightenment, like we said with that horse and the sword moving forward. She knows that he's moving forward to the divine feminine right now. The energies are so high for union between the counterparts. This tower is coming down on the divine karmics. She knows that he spilt the blood, spilt the wine, and had her spilt the tea, and chose his divine counterpart. And that he's taking that chariot that is divinely guided to move forward to his divine feminine. And how does the karmic feel about this situation? How does the karmic feel about this situation? How does the karmic feel about this situation of the divine masculine departing? She feels greedy, heartbroken. Well, not heartbroken because her heart's in reverse. But like a death has occurred. The death of their connection. But she also feels greedy, holding on to everything she can. Four of Pentacles. This is greedy. She's guarding everything. She wants alimony, child support, that sort of energy. She wants everything she can get from this masculine because she thinks she deserves it for putting up with him. Heartache, or this broken heart, is in reverse. She already healed her broken heart regarding him because she has true love at a distance. She doesn't really care about this masculine. She just wanted his material possessions with her greed. She has true love at a different distance, and she will be moving forward. But she does know that and feel strongly that this is the depth of that connection. That there will be no return this time. That she's no longer that choice because he's moved to the divine connection with the Four of Wands. He's been ignoring her and nurturing himself for quite some time now, while she stood in her power, or tried to pretend to be the divine feminine, sitting there as a Queen of Swords, stubborn and not in her truth. What else do we need to know? Let's see. That's what was going on, how she felt about it. Alright, let's just, I feel like this is being nosy, but let's see. Is the karmic moving forward to her true love at a distance? Karmic moving forward to true love at a distance. Does she have true love at a distance? True love at a distance for the karmic. Communicating with someone about options. And justice in reverse. So she's communicating once he leaves. She's going to make that communications to see what her options are with her true love at a distance. Maybe the true love at a distance is in a relationship as well. Who knows? But justice is in reverse regarding that. She won't. She won't be able to move on yet. In other words, she's just, let's see, because she's just an option. She's maybe looking at options, but that just puts her in the position then of being an option to her, the true love at a distance. So let's see, what's going on with the divine masculine? What's going on with the divine masculine that he's moving forward? Where's the divine masculine currently with the karmic? Where's the justice? He's leaving that behind. Well, not justice, but where's the divine masculine energy right now? Where's the divine masculine energy right now? on the bottom of the deck. High Priestess. So Eight of Cups is usually looking at what, looking over the cups that lost, the milk that spilled, so to speak, but it's in reverse. There's only one option for him. Now, he's manifested this new beginning. He's been awakened, and he wants that star, new beginning, wish fulfillment, taking himself out of the self-imprisonment so that he can move forward to his High Priestess. That's where he's at currently this moment. So I hope this helps. Let me get you a couple other. Spirit reminded me. Spirit wants us to plant a tree, give thanks to its spirit, or adopt a tree in a park. Be sure and talk to the tree. If not, go to your local store. They sell trees. Blue tourmaline. Blue tourmaline. Alright. It's the 5th and 6th chakra, throat, the 3rd eye. It helps with those. Well, spell work was at play. We got this on the other karmic reading that I did a little bit ago, so check that one out. That's on how the karmic feels about the divine feminine. So, spell work's at play. Be sure and get you some black tourmaline. It looks like either this in the raw is preferred, or you can get them in a bracelet, or you can also get it in a necklace. Sorry, I just hit the mic. Did you choose money or unconditional love? And that's what happened with that karmic situation to begin with. They had chose the money. Spiritual message 1212 enhances your home. Favorable conditions are at play. Give thanks for everything you have. Get into mission. And if you need help, email me. sacredspiritualhealer@gmail.com. If you have a question, if you're wondering if, they know about you or whatever the question is, your answer is no. Stop dwelling on past heartaches. Go within and heal. Let it go. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Forgive your mom for not knowing how to love you better, or for hitting you as a child, and your dad, your sister, your brother, etc. You have to go in as a child and heal those wounds first, and then move outward as you aged. Fear is blocking you. Release fear. Have mercy on yourself. Again, I got both of those in the earlier reading. Am I in mission? What is your soul purpose? And the from Grateful Heart. Okay. The Fire Witch, you and your divine counterpart will soon exchange sweet, passionate words. Yes, because the Chariot is moving forward. Come from a grateful heart and give thanks for what you have. And walk it off. If you are ready to spout off, just go for a walk. Those, and let me get you some of these. Also remember that when this Chariot arrives, because the Divine Masculine is coming to you, High Priestess, that he has had a transformation, rebirth. He is not the person he was before. You may not even recognize him. He's going to be so transformed you may not even know that it's the same person. Messages for those divine counterparts. Messages for the divine counterparts. Benefits. Jupiter returns. 13 is a 4 for stability. Stability benefits you. Benefits of stability. it's going to benefit you to realize that he has had his rebirth and that he's not the same person. So we have to not only be sure that you've gone through that forgiveness process of them for any of the three-party situations, their alcohol or drugs, you know, the whole 9 yards that we've been healing, right? But remember, they're no longer in that energy, just as the High Priestess has transformed from where we started years ago in our journey. Mercury retrograde is coming around again soon. Let's see, reinvention. This is number 6. A lot of these will be, if you received messages from people that were during Mercury retrograde, remember that was just lessons that had to be learned on maybe a test to say, will you stay on this journey, or are you going to take someone that came, a soulmate that came back during Mercury retrograde, right? It was regarding partners. Remember that the divine connection is a partnership. It's not supposed to be, you know, just about a lovey-dovey romance thing. It's about true partnership, true balance, true give and take. We are the yin to the yang, you know, the complete, pretty much the complete opposite because of yin and yang. We have the energy that balances it out. This is what I have for you. I hope you have a blessed day.